My name is Dean Paul Deniston, and today we'll be replacing the inner tube on the Razor Pocket Mod. This is a moderately difficult procedure. It should take you approximately 20 minutes from start to finish. You will need the following tools: a Phillips screwdriver, an 18mm open-end wrench, two 8mm open-end wrenches, a pair of nylon or plastic tire levers. It's important they're not metal so you don't puncture the new inner tube, and a tire pump. Ours is electric, but you can use a manual one if that's all you have. This process can be completed in 4 easy steps. Step 1, removing the rear wheel. Step 2, removing the inner tube. Step 3, installing your new inner tube. And Step 4, reinstalling the wheel. Now let's get started on Step 1, removing the wheel. Using your 2 open-end 8mm wrenches, disconnect the brake. Remove the nut from the backside. Slide the bolt out of the front side, and be careful not to lose the spacer in the middle. Now on the other side, we're going to disconnect the motor. Trace the wire from the motor to its plug, and pull straight apart to separate. Next, route the wire out of its groove. Next, remove the wire from the bracket. Now using your 18mm open-end wrench, remove the nuts that secure the wheel. On the right side, remove the nut, followed by the wedge washer, followed by the tab washer. On the left side, remove the nut, followed by the wedge washer, followed by the tab washer. Now we can slide the wheel straight back and out of the frame. On the left side, slide off the spacer, followed by the brake. On the right side, slide off the flat washer and set them aside. With the wheel removed, that concludes Step 1, removing the wheel. Now on to Step 2, removing the inner tube. First, let's remove the dust cap from the valve stem. Just twist it off and set it aside. Now using your Phillips screwdriver, depress the pin in the valve stem to drain the air out of the tire. With the air out, we can use the tire levers to remove the tire from the rim. Slide it in between the rim and the tire, and pry it upwards. With the first tire lever pried over, grab your second tire lever and continue working your way around the wheel. Continue holding your first tire lever in place, and keep prying around the rim with your second tire lever. With the first side of the tire over the rim, now move on to prying over the second side. Stick the lever in and pry it over the other edge of the rim. Now with the second lever, work your way around the rim just like you did the first time. Now we can pry the tire the rest of the way off with our hands. Squeeze and apply pressure to get the tire off the rim. Now remove the inner tube out of the tire. Simply pull it out. And that concludes Step 2, removing the inner tube. Now on to Step 3, installing your new inner tube. Take your new inner tube and place it into the tire. Simply feed it in. With the inner tube in the tire, we can now place it back on the rim. Line up the valve stem with the hole in the rim and slide it through. Next, place the edge of the tire over the rim. Squeeze the tire over the rim and work your way all the way around. Using your tire levers, you can pry the edge of the tire back onto the rim. This part's a little tricky, but keep at it and you'll get it. With the first edge of the tire over the rim, we can now move on to the second side and get this tire fully on. Simply pry it over by hand and work your way all the way around. It may help to use a tire lever to continue prying the tire over the rim. With the tire back on, we can now inflate it. Using your tire pump, inflate the tire to 40 psi. And now reinstall the dust cap for the valve stem. Simply twist it on. And that concludes step 3, installing your new inner tube. Now on to step 4, reinstalling the wheel. Make sure the wire is on the right side. Place the brake over the axle. Place the spacer over the brake. Flat washer goes on the right side, and slide the wheel back into the frame. Route the cable for the motor back into its grooves. On the connector, there's a little arrow, and on the receiving end is another arrow. Line up the arrows and plug it straight together. On the right side, place on the tab washer, followed by the wedge washer, followed by the nut. Now do the same for the other side. Tab washer, followed by the wedge washer, followed by the nut. Now before we tighten those down, let's bolt back on the brake. Insert your bolt through the frame and place on your spacer. Next, put the bolt through the brake and through the bracket. Now we can reinstall the nut on the backside. Simply thread it on. Using your two 8mm open-end wrenches, tighten down that nut. Secure the nut from the backside and tighten the bolt side from the front. Now we can tighten down the axle nuts. Using your 18mm open-end wrench, tighten down the axles. With the axle nuts secured, that concludes step 4 and the process of replacing the inner tube on our Razor Pocket Mod. I hope you found this video helpful and informative, but if you still have any other questions or concerns, please feel free to contact customer support at razor.com. Now get out there and have some fun. Bye-bye.